Okay, guys, now I hope that you're done with the activity. It was really easy, okay? I hope that you understand the indication and that you created your frequency table, okay? Remember that you can use color, pen, or pencil. Remember that all the activities you have to answer it in a white sheet of paper or in an old notebook if you're working on there. If you have your learning logbook, then answer your questions on the learning logbook, and this type of activity where it says notebook, it's for your notebook, okay? For example, I don't want you to get confused because there are some people that say it's too much activities, but wait, guys, on the learning logbook there's some exercises, several questions. So those questions, if you don't have space, or I prefer you to write it on a piece of paper, okay? Or write in a notebook if you're using your notebook. Why? Because then your ideas in that little space that the learning logbook gives you is too small, then I won't understand your handwriting. So that's why I suggest you to answer those questions, those exercises from the learning logbook in an old notebook or in blank sheet of paper you're working there, okay? When it says that it's a notebook activity, then it's a notebook activity, okay? But well, now we're going to stop a little bit, okay? Put those books away, put those colors, crayons, everything away. Stop for a second, okay? And I need you to sit down properly, standing straight. We're going to do the mindfulness activity to bring up all those ideas in our brain, because right now our brain is saturated with a lot of information that maybe you can concentrate yourself, okay? So we have to calm down a little bit. Start breathing, inhaling, exhaling, sitting down straight. Remember that your hands are on top of your legs, okay? And you have to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, okay? Calm down a little bit, then we're going to do the mindfulness activity, okay? So get ready and listen to this song. Okay, guys, welcome back. Thank you for relaxing in a little bit. Okay, I hope that you're more relaxed, with your stress out, and with your mind clear of ideas and ready to work. Okay, so let's continue. We're going to continue on the learning logbook, page 115, and I need you to observe this page. Okay, we will start by reading this purple information that, if you observe, is located on your right of the paper. Okay, so this purple information, we're going to start reading it. Okay, and it says over here on page 115. Okay, let's start reading it, guys, together. Okay, it says a bar chart has three main parts: the axis, the variable, and the frequency. The axes are the lines we use to create a graph. The commonly called the horizontal axis and the x-axis, and the vertical axis the y-axis. Okay, so over here, this is going to be, if you don't understand this part, this is going to be the horizontal x-axis. Okay, and this is going to be the vertical y-axis. Okay, this information that they're saying right here is this right here, what I just draw. Okay, I do this for you can understand a little bit. So remember, the bar chart has three main parts. Which one are the three main parts? Highlight it: the axis, the variable, and the frequency. Okay, and then you create it. Okay, and the horizontal is called x, and the vertical is called y-axis. Okay, is this one what I just created over here? Now let's continue and let's see the next part. It says the variable is the property. The variable is the property or characteristic that we want to study. Okay, it is usually breaks down into several categories. For example, if the variable is students' favorite fruits, it would break down into strawberry, mango, banana, and pineapples. Breakdown in this case means Okay guys, so I hope that you're done with the exercises. I'm sure that you did good. So now let's check our answers together to see if we are correct, okay? So on exercise number 2 says, analyze the double bar chart and answer the questions that follow. Let's analyze it first together. If you observe right here, you have, it doesn't have title. I see that it doesn't have title because that's the first thing that it has to have, and it doesn't have title, okay? So the second part that I see is that on the bottom part, on the horizontal part, says watching movies, playing sports. It says listening and surfing the internet, and reading. So I think those are the variables, the y variables, okay? On the other part, I see, no, those are the x variables. On the other part, I see the y variables, the vertically ones, okay? And I see the numbers of votes from 0 all the way to 50. Question number 1 says, how many responses were given? How many responses were given? So according to what I see, you have to count each bar chart to see how many is given. Okay, you need to count. This is approximately 25. This will be 15. You add 40. You add, how much is this one? I think this one is 20. This one is 5. You add, this is I think 15, so on and so on. And the total as my result, I have 186. Okay, I hope you counted the same thing. Exercise number 2 says, which activities show the greatest variation between groups? So I observe over here reading. I observe reading and listening to music. Okay, I see reading, listening to music, so I think it's between those two. So it's between reading and listening to music. Okay, now on question number 3 says, which activity shows the least variation between groups? So let's observe the bar graph and let's observe watching movies. This one over here, observe this one and observe this one. I want you to observe this one. This one is the least variation between groups. Observe it, that is the least one. There's not too much difference. Then you observe from reading through this one, there is a difference. If you observe from listening to this one, there's a big difference too. Okay, so the least one over here will be watching movies. Okay, watching movies. Now I hope that everyone has this type of answers like I did. I hope that you analyzed it the way I did. Okay, everyone has their own interpretation. Okay, so let's continue. On exercise number 3, it says, the table below shows clothing sales at 2 stores. Use it to answer the questions. Over here you see a frequency table. Okay, so right here, this is a frequency table. This is a frequency table. Number of sales, clothing. You see that the clothing is like the main idea, and the variables is shirts, dresses, pants, and blouses. Store A sold this and store B sold this. So maybe store A is located in the downtown and store B is located in the touristic part, maybe. Okay, so question number 1 says, use the data to create a double bar chart. Okay, we have to create a double bar chart. So this is our bar chart that we have to create. They already put the title of the bar chart. The title is number of sales. Then we're going to continue by creating the charts, the bars. Okay, so my bar is 1. Store A is going to be green and store B is going to be red. Okay, so now let's start by creating the double. We're going to create the double bar chart. Double because you're going to put 2 bars. Okay, double. Now it says shirts. Store A has 28 shirts. So let's try to draw it. I'm going to draw it nice and neatly. I hope it good. Okay, but before that, let me put my variables over here. This is going to be the shirts. This is going to be the dresses. Okay, it's going to be the pants, and this is going to be the blouses. Okay, so we're going to start with store A. Store A. In Store A, they sold 28 shirts. So let's draw 28 shirts, okay? Store A sold 35 dresses. So let's draw 35 dresses, okay? Store A sold 33 pants. So let's draw 33 pants. And Store A sold 29 blouses. So let's draw 29 blouses. Okay? Now let's go with Store B. Store B sold 21 shirts. 21 shirts. And sold 37 dresses. 37 dresses, not 40, 30, but I can't do it. 30 pants, they sold 30 pants. Okay. And they sold 35 blouses. Okay, 35 blouses. Okay. That's my double bar chart. Then we're going to answer question 2 and question 3. And it says, which store sold more clothes? So according to this, I see that Store A sold more clothes. Okay. Number 3, where is the greatest variation? The greatest variation is between shirts. Okay, why? Because over here you have 28 and 21. And if you observe on the other ones, they're almost in the same level, like in the 30s, okay? So the greatest variation is in shirts, okay? So far, I hope they have the same thing that I do, okay? So now let's continue. Over here, we're going to continue on page 116. I need you to please observe this page and see what is it about, okay? Once you observe it, okay, we will start on working it out, okay? So I need you to observe it and in 5 minutes complete and answer it as possible as you can, okay? In 5 minutes you're going to answer the questions or the information that they're giving you or providing you there, okay? So I will put my timer. Remember that you have to read carefully the indications. If it says work in pairs or in teams, well, you have to do it individually. Remember, guys, okay, that we're working here individually due to these circumstances, okay? So I need you to observe it, and in 5 minutes you're going to answer it and analyze it, okay? So ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, well, I hope that you're done analyzing and doing the exercises. Now we're going to continue and let's check together our answers, okay? Now let's check exercise number 4. It says get into pairs. Obviously, we're not getting in pairs. The graph on the right shows the students' correct and incorrect answers on the test. This graph right here. Use the graph to answer the following questions. If you observe in the graph has 2 bar charts. It's a double bar chart. One is color yellow and one is color orange. So on the color yellow is the correct answers, the people that answer correctly. And the orange one are the persons that answer incorrectly, okay? So let's try to analyze and answer question number 1. Question number 1 says, how many students took the test? We have to count how many students took the test. So I suggest you, I don't know if you did it, how you get your result, but I suggest you to please look at the chart right here, okay? And According to the chart, you have to tell me how many students. But guess what? On the vertically axis, you have that says number of students. So how many? 20. So let's write our answer. Our answer in this case will be 20 students. Okay? Question number 2. Which question had the most correct answers? Which question had the most correct answers? Over here on the horizontally axis is questions. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have to check which one had the correct one. The correct part is yellow. So let's analyze it. I think it's 6. So the question number 6 had the most correct answer. Question 6. Number 3 says, which question showed the greatest variation between the correct and the incorrect answers? So I think the ones that had the most and the greatest variation is 6, because look, the correct and the incorrect. I think that one, because the correct one is all the way up and you see this difference between them two. So over here is also question 6. Okay, now we're going to continue in the next part. Hopefully I think that you have the same thing that I have. Okay, so now let's continue in the other part.